Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We'll begin shortly. Just going to give it a couple more minutes. All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. It sounds like I'm live. It says it wasn't, but looks like we're live this morning. All right, just give me a minute here, and we'll get started. All right, before we get started, can everyone hear me and see me? If you can just type in the chat, that would be great. And then we'll get started. Sorry, I felt like we're having a technical difficulty this morning, but maybe not. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Good stuff. All right. We'll get started. Well, good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for joining today's session. My name is Keith Hawken. I'm the Director of Sales at Top Producer. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to talk about some of the recent changes we made to Top Producer X, and then open it up for Q&A where you guys can ask me anything related to Top Producer. So we'll get started. This is a collaborative session, so please type your questions into the chat if you have any. And without wasting any more time, we'll get started. So what we're going to talk about today is the most recent release to TPX, which happened in the last couple of days. This release included a couple of big enhancements that the biggest enhancement for sure is going to be the filter task by completion and search by date range. This is something you guys have been asking for since the very, very beginning. I'm really happy to announce that it's finally available inside Top Producer X, and so I will definitely go live in the product and show you that. Another thing we've also done is we added in support via live chat into TPX. So if you have questions about our products, you now can chat live with one of our support representatives right from the product. So we'll cover that as well. And then we've also added in some self-serve billing for those of you that are based in the US. You do have access to self-serve billing via the Realtor.com professional dashboard. That's where you can access all your invoices, credit card, bills, all that stuff for Top Producer. So we'll talk about that. So the first one, another thing also, we've done further enhancements to Property Insight. So The first one is you can now add an insight via an MLS number. So we're going to cover this feature as well. And then the second one is related to lead providers. So basically what happens if you get a lead from a property, so via your website, realtor.com, other sources where you have an inquiry off a property, if that lead comes into Top Producer directly, Top Producer will now automatically add that property under the Insight tab that your client inquired on. So I'm going to go through all these features live so you guys can see them. And then, look, so let's just do that now. So let's go live. So the first one is, and I just want to pause and make sure the video catches up and make sure I can see that you guys can see my Top Producer. Is going to be date range. So one of the things that you guys were asking for is, hey, I want to be able to look, back. I want to be able to look ahead. Right now, prior to the release we did this week, you could only look at overdue. You could look at what's coming up today. You could look what's coming up tomorrow. You can look at what's coming up in the next 7 days. And actually, I'm just going to zoom in here. Just give me a minute here. Where's my zoom? So you guys can see it a little bit better. Just give me a quick minute. All right, I think you guys can see it now. And now what you can do is you can actually set a custom date range. So if you want to look at everything that, say I want to go back and look at the month of March, I could go ahead and look at the month of March. If I want to look ahead, I can do that. So that came out last week. This is one of the most requested features we've had that you guys have been asking for. So I'm super excited that it's now live in TPX. So if you want to be able to go look at all your activities from the past, you want to be able to look ahead, you can do that now, and not just by these preset filters that we gave you. One other addition to this feature, you can also sort by things you've done. So if you're one of those people that likes to hold yourself accountable to, hey, what did I do last week, last month, you can also sort by things that you've completed. And it's always a good health check and temperature check to see how you're doing towards your goals. So before I go any further, I'm just going to pause and see if there's any questions related to the custom date range addition to TPX. And again, if you guys have any questions, you guys can go ahead and type those into the chat box. All right, so another addition is this little chat now here in the bottom right corner. So if you guys are working in TPX and you have a question, maybe you're not sure what something is or how to set up something or how to do something, between the hours of 7:30 and 4 p.m. West Coast time, Monday to Friday, you can actually chat live with one of our representatives. So these are live people. You can type your question in here, and they will respond and do their best to help you. So now you have access to a live support agent directly from Top Producer X. Again, this is just part of the overall customer service that we offer for you. So Aaron asked, can this also be checked for agents on a team? Yeah, so that is a great question, Aaron. That is something we is not available today, is to be able to look at team members, but it is something we will be adding to the product. And I'll make sure that your question and comment gets to the right people. But great question. Okay. Another thing that we've done is for those of you based in the U.S., if you we've been working on a bunch of work behind the scenes on our systems. We added in the billing information. So all your invoices, you need to update your credit card, whatever it is, you want to go look at what products you own, you can now do that under the settings billing information. And that will take you right into your Realtor.com dashboard. So everyone in the U.S., regardless if you use Realtor.com or not, you have access to a Realtor.com dashboard. Because every agent that's part of the NAR has that. So again, that's where now you can go in and download all your invoices. It's basically self-serve for billing information. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about in today is going to be the addition to Property Insights. So Property Insights is something we added a couple of weeks ago, and the feedback we've gotten from all of you is how much you love it. And I agree. It's one of the really, really great enhancements that is exclusive to Top Producer X. And for those of you that don't know, Property Insights is available for those of you, again, in the US. Canada support will be coming in the future, where now you can track all the properties that your clients have inquired on, that you've shown them, offer houses that they were not interested in, you name it. They made an offer. Basically, track their journey. So this is something that we're really happy to add. And Jasmine, I know you asked about the question about when this will be available in Canada. It is something we are working on adding Canadian support. So stay tuned. I do not have an ETA on that, but it is something that we will make available in Canada. So this is a really awesome feature. So there's a couple of new additions to it. First off, when you want to add an insight, when we first launched this, you could only do it by the address of the property. You can now do it by MLS number. So if you know the property that you showed them or that they're interested in, you can just type in the MLS number for that property, hit search, and then you can add it to your contacts record. The other one is if you get leads from your website, from anywhere that's based off a property, essentially, as long as we can match that property to a property on your MLS, that insight will automatically be added as an inquired on. So you can see here I have this 127 Wild Horse from Santa Fe. It said it was inquired on. So leads from like your website, realtor.com, for example, those any properties that people inquire on that you get leads from will show up here. So that's another addition where an insight now is automatically created versus you manually having to add it. So yeah, to kind of recap, right? The biggest change here for sure is the addition to the custom date range on tasks and the ability to also check mark done. Another one is the billing information, and then the secondary ones are the additions or enhancements made to Property Insights, where one, Property Insight will be automatically now created if the lead is off a property, and two, you can now add insights via MLS number. So those are all of the recent additions that we've made. Look, there's a lot to come. I love, being able to get in front of all of you guys and talk about all the new things we're doing. As you can tell, there's been a lot of progress made. And I also don't want to underestimate the addition of the live chat is something you guys have been asking for. It's here now. So again, if you're working in X and not sure, helps a click away, essentially. So lots being done, more to come. If you want to know what we're working on, the best thing to do is click on the what's new. This is where we keep track of everything that we've done and when, and you can tell that, in any given month, there's many things that we end up adding to the product. So if you want to find out what the latest release was and what's included, if you want to know what we're working on, this is what we're working on right now. So the what's new section is very valuable for you to stay on top of all the releases. The other thing too, if you have product feedback, your feedback is super valuable to us. If you click this little feedback button on the left, this is where you can actually submit feedback around TPX. So if there's something there that you don't like or something you want to see, feedback, good and bad, is appreciated. So, we want to hear from you. If you, can take a few minutes and, give us your feedback, that would be great as well. With that being said, I want to open up this Facebook Live to you guys and see if you have any questions for me. So I'm going to pause for 30 seconds and give you guys a chance to type in your questions. This could be anything related to Top Producer. So love to answer your questions live on Facebook today. All right. If there's no questions coming through, we will wrap up today. So again, just a couple things. I'm just going to bring this back. Look, stay tuned. Follow our Facebook page. I imagine all you guys are following our Facebook page. Submit feedback. Chat with our support team. We're here for you. And with that being said, we'll end today's session a little early. Thank you, everyone, for taking the 15 minutes today. I hope you guys like the enhancements we've made over the last couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Lots more to come. Thank you, everyone. Take care.